In 1983, the sensory deprivation tank had become a little bit of a thing in Hollywood, and you could go and rent a little time. And out of nowhere, I decided to give my best friend at the time some LSD. I said, let's take this LSD, go up to the apartment complex, and we're going to rent an hour in the tank, side by side. And he was like, okay, let's do it. So we took the LSD. We drove his car, and we got in the tanks. I thought it was just going to be, ooh, trippy dippy. Forget it. I was 10 billion miles away in outer space. An astral plane experience.
Yeah.
Completely conscious, but no body, just flying through the quiet vastness of space. It was almost more than we could handle, but those things are real. The elements combined. I don't do LSD anymore, but as a young man, it made sense to me.
Ayahuasca, very dangerous thing. I don't care what anyone says, because I get thousands of messages from people like you saying, please help me, I'm having nightmares ever since I did ayahuasca. If it wasn't dangerous spiritually, you wouldn't need a shaman there to guide the ceremony. You're playing with things you don't even understand. Oh, I see the elves. Yeah, you see maybe the night jinn. Remember, the demonic realm in Islam is not all evil. They have free will. Satan wasn't always evil. He wasn't an angel. He fell from heaven because he disobeyed God. God allowed him to live amongst the angels because of his behavior and conduct on the earth. When God created Adam, he gave the kingdom to this world, to Adam. And he got mad, he got jealous. So when people talk about like extraterrestrials, they talk about aliens. Yeah, we're in war with aliens, but it's not aliens. It's interdimensional demonic beings that are trying to destroy us. And there's human beings that collaborate with them, and you know who you are. And they do rituals, and they go to islands, and they do all kinds of things with kids.
I don't know much about witchcraft.
You don't want to.
What is it?
There are black witches and white witches, that there are witches that do good. Witchcraft is still witchcraft. It's the use of the elements, and there's alchemy, there's wizardry, sorcery, electricity, magic, use of blood, use of spit, use of I did it 2 times. Both of them worked, and then I went,
Are you serious?
this is bigger than I am. That really my life up. And it took years for us to get out of it.
What were your hexes?
One was something that had to do with the guy that actually punched me. What happened was we went to school that day. The guy walked up to me and just slugged me. The second bus shows up and we get in the bus and we take off. He's coming up to his house and he walks through the walkway in the bus and elbows me in the back of the head as he's getting out. And I was trying to fit in, so I had a mouthful of Red Man. And when he hit me, I went, and I swallowed that. That's it. I'm going to do something about this. So I looked through the book and I found something that would do what I wanted. I did that hex.
What did you want to happen?
I really don't want to get into it because I don't want anybody to be misled and try and figure out what I did. When you open up the doors to the dark, they're not going to wait to be invited in. They're coming.
Do you think you were possessed?
Oh, I know it was. When we went to San Francisco to go see the Filipino priest, he said that he laid hands on me and the head of a bull came out of my chest.
Bro, that looks too fucking real.
Yeah, I fucking know, dude. I'm gonna be indicted.
That's bad, bro.
Yeah, bro, shit's funny until it's you on one of these pictures.
If you care about America, you better start caring about this. Because America's not being led by Americans. America's not being led by Christians. It's not being led by Europeans, Romans. It's being led by people that hate us. It's being led by people that hold a 2,000-year grudge against Christ and against the Roman Empire. It's being run by a histrionic, paranoid people that think we have anti-Semitism in our DNA. We have Jew hatred in our genetics. And they think that this land was promised to them and their right to exist involves our military killing all their neighbors. That's who's running America. You better start getting interested in caring about that if you care about America at all.
You might have to watch this one twice. This is Baalbek. And if you've never seen this place before, it is absolutely massive. Baalbek is in Lebanon. A little mainstream research will tell you that this is a Roman ruin, but I'm about to tell you why it's not. Now, the temple itself is huge, but it sits on a foundation that's going to blow your mind. The biggest of those stones is 1,200 tons, and the only thing that we have today that can move that are these mobile cranes. Now, some argue that this was concrete, but this is also not true because we know where the quarry is. It's pretty close. Ironically, Jimmy from Bright Insight posted a video of one of these cranes trying to lift a smaller stone and failing to do so. Now, the story you're going to get is that they were dragged with ropes on logs. Now, lifting the stone is one thing, but But moving the stone is even harder. This is the biggest dump truck in the world, and it can only move 496 tons, and it is that big. Now looking at the quarry itself, it appears that they could move these stones pretty easily. It also looks like it was abandoned as they were working. That quarry is also not a granite quarry, and that is a granite pillar in Baalbek. That granite is from Aswan in Egypt, a 21-hour drive today over water. On the ceiling of Baalbek, you're going to find a Star of David, which is a clearly Hebrew symbol. Inside that star is a lotus, a signature of Hindu builders, who shared this symbol with their pals, the Egyptians, who revered the flower and also incorporated it into their architecture. So who do you think really built Baalbek?
Stop making movies about characters we don't care about. Ironheart is a literal heaping pile of dog shit. It's literally the worst MCU project that I have ever seen next to She-Hulk and Echo. I don't know what Marvel's deal is, but anytime they have a female lead, they always make the writing so dog shit. Like, I just don't get it, bro. It's like they try so hard to make the female better than their counterpart. Like, they want to make Riri better than Iron Man, instead of just making her different from Iron Man. She says so much, yo, if I was a billionaire like Tony Stark, you know, I could really make some shit shake with these Iron Man suits. Tony Stark made the first Iron Man suit in a cave with a box of scraps. Are we forgetting the origin story? And then the shit that makes me the most mad is they'll say like, oh, this movie is for black people. This movie is so black people can feel included in the MCU. But you make her a criminal. You make her a murderer. You make her accept and hang out with people who are felons. You make her unbearably arrogant. Like, what are you thinking, bro? It's almost like anybody who works on these MCU movies nowadays have never read a fucking comic book, have never seen any Marvel movie from the past, and don't know how to write a good story, period. You have no idea what the fuck you're doing, and it's embarrassing, bro. I used to love Marvel, bro, and now I expect it to be ass. That's fucking sad, bro. I just wasted my time watching that bullshit. Y'all on y'all last strike, bro. If Fantastic Four is ass, you're cooked. If X-Men is ass, you're super cooked. Sell the whole fucking IP, cause ain't nobody saving you but Spider-Man, bro.
Oh, did you see what happened with Congress?
What Congress?
So they came out and said, okay, something's going on, and there's literally aliens.
Said that they're in the water.
Yeah,
They're actually not.
What ended up happening, they brought it to Congress and they pretty much said, here, I'll show you.
Okay, Mr. Elizondo, you state in your testimony that, quote, advanced technologies not by our government or any other government are monitoring sensitive military installations around the globe, end quote. If these technologies are not made by any government, who's making them? Private companies, or are you implying they are crafted by a non-human intelligence?
Well, ma'am, that's precisely why we're here. The problem is that, temporally speaking, over decades, not just the last 10 years, to put this in perspective,
Are these private companies you're implying, or is this non-human intelligence?
It may be both.
Okay.
When it comes to Blue Force Technologies, I would not be able to discuss.
Okay. Are you read into secret UAP crash retrieval programs?
We would have to have a conversation in a closed session, ma'am. I signed documentation 3 years ago that restricts my ability to discuss specifically crash retrievals. I submitted for my book through the DOPSR process, which took a year.
So he's saying it may be like supernatural. This is probably aliens.
He said that they could be made by private companies or non-human intelligence. I mean, we don't even know the full technology that governments or our government even has. So it could very well be them being in secrecy. Or yeah, it could be something supernatural. Either way, the ocean is probably the perfect way to do it and the perfect place to do it.
I did not go to medical school.
I'm sorry?
I did not go to medical school.
That's what I thought. Why do you think you or anyone else at Twitter had the medical expertise to censor a doctor's expert opinion?
Our policies regarding COVID were designed to protect individuals. We were seeing...
You guys censored Harvard-educated doctors, Stanford-educated doctors, doctors that are educated in the best places in the world, and you silenced those voices. Did the U.S. government ever contact you or anyone at Twitter to pressure Twitter to moderate or censor certain tweets? Yes or no?
We have a program.
Did the U.S. government ever contact you or anyone at Twitter to censor or moderate certain tweets? Yes or no?
We received legal demands to remove content from the platform from the U.S. government and governments all around the world. Those are published on a third-party website, and anyone can review.
Thank God for Matt Taibbi. Thank God for Elon Musk for allowing to show us in the world that Twitter was basically a subsidiary of the FBI, censoring
real medical voices with real expertise that put real Americans' lives in danger because they didn't have that.
I can't even tell you how hard the CIA runs the rap game. It's insane. The State Department just recently brought like 22 hip-hop artists from all these different conflict zones. I can walk you through in Bangladesh how USAID was funding rap musicians, reporting back to the State Department about how the songs were designed to create street protests, producing their music videos.
You're talking about ones from other countries right now.
They were also working with USAID to secretly fund the hip-hop movement in Cuba to overthrow the Cuban government through anti-government rap anthems, which is a huge USA.
Wow. And people often ask us what happens if the electricity goes out. It doesn't matter for our patients. We do have backup generators to keep our computers running and that sort of thing. But these patients are in liquid nitrogen. It just sits there at minus 196 Celsius. We don't have to cool it. The patients are not damaged in any way by a power outage. She had brain cancer and her parents had her cryo preserved. They wanted to come over and do a Buddhist ceremony, so we put her picture on the capsule for them to have that ceremony. My husband is in this doer right here, and so I come in every now and then and say, "Hi, Fred. How you doing?"
That's like comforting, but like terrifying at the same time.
Here is the Inglorious Bastards section, and over here are the people who made the movie. Hey! In Inglorious Bastards, Christoph Waltz played a Nazi obsessed with finding Jews. Well, Christoph?
I can see them using this like how you would signal Batman. Anytime this goes off, they need help.
You kind of got the, this.
Is that a lobster ring?
No, it's a scorpion. It's a scorpion. You like it?
I do.
Yeah.
I like it more if it was a lobster.
Why? Scorpions are cooler than lobsters, aren't they? Lobsters are just tasty. Scorpions are dangerous.
Lobsters are psychic.
So Fort Knox is one of the places, the physical places in the United States where we're told our gold is stored.
And we're going to go into Fort Knox to make sure the gold is there.
Members of Congress, almost all of them with the last name Paul, have been calling for an audit of Fort Knox for, just decades. And if you really press, it doesn't look like Fort Knox has been actually audited for close to 100 years since the 30s. I think that's right. They said it was audited in the 70s, but it wasn't actually audited. Why is it so hard with a federal workforce, including contractors like 10 million people, to just go through the contents of the vaults and weigh them and make sure that they're not gold-plated titanium and make sure they're all there and then figure out who owns them? Why is that so hard? We're told, oh, that's too complicated. Really?
I want to say after World War II, we had 18,000 tons of gold, official gold. And by the time we got to call it 71, we were down to the 8,100 we have today. And
no way.
It's probably lower than that 81 today.
Not a day goes by that my mom is not lifting me up in prayer.
That's right.
For hours at a time. Not a day goes by that my mom...
Young Gravy, you told me you bought a house? Send a housewarming gift. This is a real Quaalude bottle from 1981. Look at that. Lemon. Lemon Quaalude. And a real 1982 Quaalude bottle.
Bro, where the fuck you get that?
Bro, don't ask no too many questions.
Okay.
Bro, no,
that's so fucking lit, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man. Put your hands in there.
2 seconds won't do anything.
Get him, get him, get him, get him! Those 2 seconds did in fact do something. That's 100% out of Black Mirror.
Have you ever seen those videos from the 1930s of them moving entire buildings, like huge buildings?
I haven't seen that.
Not only did they move these buildings like several inches a day, and they completely rotated like 180 degrees where the foundation of the building lay, but they also kept the power and electricity and the gas on.
That's when I just saw
That's wild. This is it.
people didn't quit working the entire time.
Yeah, the
Jesus.
people that were in the building kept working. So it's an 8-story, 11,000-ton Indiana Bell building rotation in 1930.
The alligator Alcatraz is the idea that it's some illegal immigrant that they just get eaten by an alligator or a snake or something. I guess that's the concept. This is not a nice business. I guess that's the concept. If the snakes are fast, but alligators are, but we're going to teach them how to run away from an alligator, okay? If they escape prison, how to run away. Don't run in a straight line. Run like this. And you know what? Your chances go up about 1%.
Alligator Alcatraz. Okay.
Weezy out of here. Weezy out of here.
No. Oh my God.
Are you not blown away that there's just dead bodies everywhere? If that's a body, I'm going to. And animals eat it?
No, animals eat it, fishes,
And look, these guys are just fishing.
Huh, so it's normal for us.
It's just fishing. You guys just eat the fish? Huh?
Yeah. You know the specialty about the Ganga water. We found there is a kind of bacteria we found only in the Ganga water.
Yeah, I believe it.
So what it does, it just cleans the water all the time.
And it just looks like he's wearing normal clothes. Like it doesn't look like funeral clothes. Like he wasn't wrapped.
It feels like that.
So
maybe he might have did suicide or something like that because he's wearing normal clothes.
Fishing. There's dead body.
Body.
Yes, body. They don't even care.
I cannot continue.
I don't know what's up with India, man. They got some crazy stuff going on over there.
As soon as I found out that it's far more likely for someone from Israel to receive my organs after I die, I immediately went to renew my license and take myself off as an organ donor. No one from Israel is getting anything from me.
Well, he wrote a book saying that Tony Fauci and I kill millions of children and make billions of dollars with vaccines. And, people can judge for themselves whether that's correct or not.
Not even going to try to deny it?
That was just on the...
Bro, why so heavy? Look at my hand. Trying to hold this up, bro. 18 hours every day.
Everything's lighting. This is light chain. Light chain is used for children or babies. They have to put this iron brand into fire. When it's very hot, they pierce their lips.
The lip?
Yeah. So while they fix this, I use a small padlock to hook it up for them not to be able to eat while working in sugarcane plantation or to communicate whenever they are.
Did you know that goblins once ruled the deepest places of the earth? Long before kingdoms rose, before iron touched stone, they lived beneath the roots of the oldest forests. In tunnels no human dared enter. They were not mischievous, they were monstrous. Sharp claws, hollow eyes, skin like whetstone, and voices that mimicked the cries of lost children, luring wanderers into the dark. Miners who dug too deep would vanish overnight. Their tools returned, melted and twisted. Villages built near goblin paths found livestock drained of blood, and bones arranged like warnings. Once, a warlord tried to burn their tunnels. His men never returned, only their heads, stacked neatly in his throne room by morning. Ancient maps mark these cursed lands with no words, only symbols. A crooked crown, a black spiral, a pair of slitted eyes. It was said that goblins worshipped something older than gods, a buried presence that still whispers through the stone. Some believe they vanished, others say they only went deeper. And when night falls in forgotten woods, some claim you can still hear it. Tiny feet on wet earth, stone shifting underground, and the sound of whispering in a voice that sounds just like your own. Whatever you do, don't answer back.
Ginger, right now, where exactly are you, Ginger?
George, I am way down here. From the perspective you can see me, about 400 feet below the top of one of the world's largest caverns. It is inside a mountain, inside a jungle in central Vietnam. And this, I have to be honest with you, has been one of, or the, I would say, most difficult, dangerous, and grittiest assignments I have ever been a part of. Let me explain a little of what's happening. It may look like a white sand beach where we're standing. We've been staying in these tents. We've been cooking over fires. This again is very remote. We are not close to any civilization, but we've got a lot of folks around us, a great team that has come together because we had to find a hidden world that was only a third of a mile from here and that was only found a couple of decades ago, but really was not discovered and explored until 2009. So this is brand new to our world, this subterranean surreal life that has been revealed, and now you get to be a part of it, including the awesome images you'll see from our friends here at DJI Drones. All right, let's get right into it.
We enter through a claustrophobic crevice.
You have to crawl to get into the biggest cave in the world. Okay, this is small.
Then it opens up.
I don't want to miss this part with the GoPro.
And drops down and down and down. I can't see beyond the narrow beam of my headlamp, but I am keenly aware that those ropes are here because a fall would be disastrous.
Oh, sorry. This place does not look real.
At the bottom, I feel like I've landed on another planet, a subterranean rushing river. Yes! Now I find myself in Mother Nature's sculpture garden, filled with prehistoric boulders and stalagmites, gigantic columns built up from calcium deposited by dripping water.
So this is a stalagmite?
Yeah, we're actually inside a stalagmite here, where the water's worn away all the bottom.
After a grueling hour, an illuminating light 1,000 feet overhead.
Spectacular. So every turn there's something else.
This colossal skylight, where the chamber ceiling collapsed, is called a doline, breathing life into this underground world. It's a lush green oasis. Our camp's white sand beaches lit up below.
It looks like Avatar in here. It doesn't feel real.
No.
This is that hidden world we've been chasing. Sondong, or Mountain River Cave, the planet's largest and visited by fewer explorers than outer space.
Just look at this. It is unbelievable. I'm standing on this colossal stalagmite, the jewel in the crown of Sondong Cave. It's the moment that took my breath away, and it's also the moment I realized we're not even halfway there yet. Sweaty.
We press on, and suddenly I'm in a jungle under a second monster skylight. Not atop a mountain, but inside it, way inside it, more than 800 feet below the surface.
You don't normally get trees and jungle in caves. That's why it's quite different.
Jungle plants and animals from above adapting to this unique subterranean netherworld.
We've come across monkeys, been sticks thrown at me by monkeys.
In here?
In here,
They're
yeah.
throwing sticks at
Throwing
you.
sticks.
What a view from those drone cameras. This mammoth crater big enough to park 2 747s inside and tall enough to fit an 80-story skyscraper. The cave's flowing river, the creator of this alien world, carving its way through a limestone mountain for 2 million years, forming the largest underground chamber on Earth. More than 1.3 billion cubic feet of subterranean awesomeness. That's more than 15,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Appropriate since 5 months out of the year, this underground marvel is underwater.
Not enough people are aware that Netflix is a vessel for mass psychological warfare. The co-founder of Netflix, Mark Randolph, is the great-nephew of Edward Bernays. Edward Bernays is known as the father of propaganda, and Edward Bernays himself is the nephew of Sigmund Freud, who's known as the father of psychoanalysis. So Bernays took his understanding of Freudian psychology and applied it to mass communication and manipulation of the collective unconscious. He worked for both the CIA and the military in the realm of psychological operations. And in 1928, Bernays wrote a book titled Propaganda. 5 years prior, he wrote a book titled Crystallizing Public Opinion. The cherry on top, though, is Bernays' involvement with the Vatican. Cardinal Francis Spellman, the Archbishop of New York, sent Bernays to the Vatican to learn and study the Jesuits' methods of mental programming. This visit took place in 1957, the same year the papal bull Miranda Porcis was issued, which publicly commands all Roman Catholics to seize as much control of media as possible, whether that be through television, movies, or news outlets. Netflix. For a little more context on Jesuit involvement in programming through entertainment, the Hollywood production code was written by Jesuit priest Daniel Lord S.J., and the Jesuits have been producing theatrical work since the time of their inception, and even helped write the works of Shakespeare through Sir Toby Matthew, who was a close friend of Francis Bacon and the Rosicrucians. So we know these guys have an affinity for programming through media. Ignoring the connection between their founder and the father of propaganda, Edward Bernays, let's examine Netflix a little further. The wife of Mark Randolph and the former CEO of Netflix was Jesuit trained at 2 different private Jesuit institutions. Other Netflix executives are also Jesuit indoctrinated, while others like Suzanne Rice and Logan Jackson are Rhodes Scholars. The Cecil Rhodes Scholarship Program is to funnel the brightest young minds to Oxford and indoctrinate them into globalist alliance. It was stated by Cecil Rhodes at the time of his death in his will that he wanted to create a secret society that was modeled after the Jesuit order. Bill Clinton was a Rhodes Scholar. I'm going to make a video all about that. I actually posted one on another account that got taken down already. Most of you could probably pinpoint in your memory a show or a movie that you thought was a bit peculiar, programming to a degree, but the truth is 90% of them are. The most obvious being things like Leave the World Behind, Don't Look Up, Stranger Things, Marriage Story, The Two Popes, and even Big Mouth. And I'm sure you haven't forgotten about the movie that's borderline child entertainment, if you will. Cuties, it was called. That's my favorite one to go back and, rewatch, research for educational purposes. But yeah, Netflix, to no surprise for most of you, I'm sure, is a vessel of mass psychological manipulation, which is no different from the videos I'm making. Who can you trust these days?
What was Justin trying to tell us? Hashtag yummy.
Here's what I want to ask. Yummy. What does that mean exactly? My sex life. Okay. That's what I thought it was. My sex life. My sex life. My sex life.
Do you know who Monica Lewinsky is? Listen to this poem that she wrote John F. Kennedy Jr. when she was 9.
And I know I'm going to rot in hell eternally for this, but the poem is a poignant rumination on how, quote, I can be a delicious lunch, dinner, or breakfast if you're weird. She goes on to describe herself, quote, as a round and flat piece of dough with lots of topping. I am a mouth's best friend. I make you say, yum, 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 yum.
Could that be the origins to the pizza talk?
They'll name 3 names for your lady parts.
Mini Moo, a JJ, and a pizza.
Pizza.
Because I have this crazy idea that I will order pizza.
Pizza.
And so if I do, I don't want it to go to waste. Who will eat pizza if I... Jennifer, yes? Pizza's here. Cheese, that's a cheese. Yeah. Where's Harvey Weinstein? Harvey.
Do you have any final words, sir?
Before I go, do you have a geek bar I can smack?
No, sir. I'm sorry.
Useless bitch.
Do you have any...
I know y'all already know this, but dude, AI is gonna be crazy in the near future, bro. We're gonna have movies instead of clips.
Too many sips of this will send you into paralysis. This is medicinal mad honey, the most toxic honey in the world. We're about to try this right now and it's gonna get us extremely f***ed up. This is the mad honey. This was picked fresh today. I'm just gonna drink it. Bro, that's 5, bro, relax. I still don't feel anything yet. It's complete bullshit.
I regret talking shit about the honey. My vision is very, very blurry. I'm actually going blind. When you're laying down, it's just your body's on fire. I feel the weight of the world on my chest right now.
Yeah, get out.
A lot of people ask if it's scary walking into a pond that has a gross, yucky, mucky bottom, and you're going down, and really, honestly, it ain't that too scary, people. You just gotta get in, you just gotta do what you can, man. In life, everything is scary until you do it. The mud is scary until you step in it and realize, man, this ain't too scary. The lily pads ain't too scary. I'm more scared of the spiders crawling on top of them than the gators in the water, man. I hope y'all have a great day and face your fears. Nothing as scary as it seems.
I think what scares me the most is not knowing what's under the water, not being able to see it. So if the water's not clear, I probably won't get in.
I was in bed with a girl and she was like, "What do you want me to do?" And I said, "Get me pictures of Spider-Man."
I couldn't figure out today. I'm like, why is everybody being so nice to me? And I look in the mirror, I look like an idiot. Like, look how dumb I look. I went to places like this. Can I have a cheeseburger? I'm thinking the cheeseburger lady's hitting on me. She's being extra nice. Do you want me to cut? Is there anything else you need, honey? I'm like, oh, she's got the hots for me.
Powdered donuts, a big Dr. Pepper. I told him he can't be eating like this. Lock in on phone on Greg.
It's like me and my brothers, where I be talking shit, but I be eating the same way.
Do you have a favorite feature to use in here?
Yeah.
Something that you think is very cool?
Check this out.
Wow.
So that's pretty neat.
This is so freaking cool.
She said, do you have a favorite feature? And he gave himself a pair of tits.
Yeah, okay. Never laid eyes on a before. Don't do it. I'm not. Do you hot too? Actually, yeah. See, it's not just for the straight people.
All right, what's the craziest date you've ever been on?
I spent like 60 grand in one weekend on this girl just to get laid, and it didn't work. What?
I've never seen their podcast, but I can't say anything because look what I be saying on my videos.
2 months into me having my OnlyFans account, I had this subscriber almost since the beginning. He had spent around 2,000 Australian dollars, bought every single thing that I sent him. An account with the same username had viewed my TikTok profile and it said "from your contacts." And my heart just sank into my stomach. Went through all of the contacts in my phone. It has to be my stepdad.
Wow.
So I went out on a limb and messaged the account on OnlyFans and I said, "I know who this is." And he responded saying, "Who? ? Babe, you don't know." And I then hit back pretty quickly and I said, "You need to tell her before my sister and I do." And with her being your mum? Yeah, being my mum. And within 2 minutes, I got a text message from my stepdad saying, "Tay, you're free to talk."
What would have happened had there been a 14-year-old girl here, Tim, and not me or the Polk County Sheriff's Office?
Well,
you'd have ate her ass. What would have happened had there...
What episode is this?
Mike was on my boy. Oh, what the fuck is that? Oh! Oh!
Going first.
Oh, yeah, go first. I'm about to take a picture of it. You gotta get lower than that. Look at him move.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh, it's about to catch something. Y'all ready to go back?
Yes.
As the actor for Spencer and Crazy Steve, do you believe the theory about Crazy Steve kidnapping Megan to be
Yes,
true?
I do. And I'll fight you if you don't. It's real and it's twisted.
Yes, it is twisted.
What is the whole thing? So Crazy Steve.
He killed Josh's parents and Jake and Josh, kidnapped Megan, made her pretend to be Carly and live in Seattle.
Right. But it's really Megan from Drake and Josh.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it makes total sense. When you watch it,
Yeah.
how could you think otherwise? It's all there. Yes, is the answer.
Hello and welcome to Trigonometry. I'm Francis Foster.
I'm Konstantin Kissin.
And this is a show for you if you want honest conversations with fascinating people.
Our brilliant guest today is already taking the piss out of us. It's the amazing American comedian Theo Von. Welcome to Trigonometry.
You guys have, we call it autism. I don't know what you guys call it, bro, but we got it.
Excuse me. I can't seem to find these anywhere.
These books are no longer available.
I didn't know.
May I have your name, please?
Why?
Excuse me.
What did I do?
We just have a couple of questions.
Guys, there is no Epstein list. There's no client list, okay? Guys, stop. There's clearly no client list.
There's definitely not a client list, okay? It just doesn't exist. Dude, enough with the client list, bro. There is no client list, okay? No, I told you, like I said, guys, I know there's a lot of pictures, but there's no client list, okay? Dude, I mean, news articles, too, from the old days, no client list, though. There is no client list, guys. There's no client list? Wait, but why is she even in jail then? Another picture with Ghislaine? Jesus, that's like 7. But there's probably not a client list, guys. There's more? Another one. There's no client list? You gotta be fucking kidding me. What the Guys, I think there might be a client list. I don't know.
So it took them months to realize or find out that there wasn't no client list?
I'm hopeful about Israel because my people, the Jewish people, emerged from the depths of hell.
Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this video right here. If you guys did enjoy this video, let me know by leaving a thumbs up and or subscribing if you guys are new. Sorry about the late upload, it was pretty busy over here for the 4th of July. But if for some reason you guys do want another video, get this video to 100 likes and I got you guys again tomorrow. Actually this time though, I know I'll say that and then disappear for a week, but I actually got you guys. Anyways, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me and I'll see you guys in the next one.